Have you seen some of these articles and videos in the last few years predicting a housing crash? Me too. It's concerning. It pulls at us, right? It feels like the Great Recession wasn't that long ago, but I mean, we're closing in on 20 years. But those memories still remain, and the emotions from those still hit people very hard, and I understand that. So those articles and videos grab a lot of attention because people want to see why. I'm going to tell you why it's not coming and why we've got some good data that shows you why the housing market is very stable, not only in this country, but specifically here in Arizona. So let's talk about that. We got some good data pulled together from the U.S. Census Department, but aggregated by a company called First Trust Advisors, Wall Street company, because they need to advise their clients, right? And when you look at this, you'll see that it's a meaningful sample size. We're not talking about a year's worth of data, it's 5 years worth. It encompasses a pretty tumultuous time here in the country, right? From 2020 through 2025, right? Just before the pandemic, through pandemic, all pandemic disruption, 3% interest rates on up to 8, and then back down a little bit. We're about 6 or so. And then up to about through mid 2025. So it's good data. I think you can rely on this. What you see here is that more than 1 million people left states like California, New York, and collectively Illinois, New Jersey, and Massachusetts. At the same time, states like Florida, Tennessee, the Carolinas, Idaho, and Arizona gained hundreds of thousands of residents. Why? Well, some aren't a surprise, but we here in Arizona rank number 9 in domestic net migration. We gained over 280,000 new residents. It's about 3.7% of our population. Now listen, that's nothing new. People have been moving to Arizona for decades, right? I've been here for about 40 years. And I remember when this felt like a big small town. It's pretty big now. Yeah, so that's nothing new. But even after our prices went up, it did not stop people from moving here, even in the last few years. So it's easy to cherry pick data over a little bit of time, but it gets, for a scary headline, but for 5 years, that's a pretty good sample size. Why, though, did people leave those states? You'll see it in the chart too below, but let's talk about it. It's the tax burden in these states. I'll give you the ranking. New York, 50th. California, 48th. New Jersey, 49th. Massachusetts, 41st. And Illinois, 37th. And what do we mean? Let's drill down into what the tax burden means further. High income taxes, high sales taxes, and high and rising property taxes. When people move, it's not an easy decision. They are uprooting their lives, right? Families, careers in some cases, if it's not a work from home situation. So they're not doing this lightly. It's a big deal, right? It's not a single policy typically. It's an accumulation of these policies, and that is something they look at. So why do they leave? Job growth here. You got a great climate if you can put up with the summers. Relative affordability and a moderate tax burden here. Where does Arizona rank? 15th in tax burden. Not bad. Now there's no tax states out there, and that's where a lot of these folks move to, but a lot of them moved here also. If we're 9th in migration and 15th in tax burden, people still feel comfortable moving here. But what does this mean for housing here in the state? It supports long-term housing demand, helps stability. Prices even during the correction period here in the last couple of years. Listen, there were some areas, Idaho, Washington, Austin, some others, prices came back down. Some places, other places too. Not here. We've stayed very stable. When people were selling in some of the tough times, they might have had to cut prices, but maybe they weren't priced appropriate. Other areas of the state, prices continue to move up at the normal appreciation rates. The 20%, 25% annual rates of 21, 22 are gone. What does this mean, though, in terms of the big takeaway? Arizona housing will only go up. Prices can fluctuate. Markets don't correct. If people continue to move here, you try to say, then it's supportive of our real estate market. Ultimately, any market is set by supply and demand. And if we have that many people that continue to move here, and we can't build that many houses. We didn't build 280,000 houses in the last 5 years. Then there's a lot more demand than we have of supply. So whether you're a homeowner here now or considering becoming a homeowner, we have a stable market and should continue to have a stable market. Okay, that's enough for today. Christian with Barrett Financial. If you have any questions or you like the content, please like and subscribe. Thanks.